I want to remind everyone that I'll be in for my buddy, the great Mike Pintek, tomorrow on News Radio 1020 KDK. Bill Green is going to be joining me. We're going to be talking about a number of things, including the president today kind of blaming the House for the problems with Russia, saying they forced their hand on these sanctions. And he's saying right now, this is about as bad as it's been in years. Some are saying it's as bad as it was during the Cold War. We're going to talk all about that and some immigration stuff as well, too, as far as merit and skills as opposed to families. One of the reasons this new legislation is out there and the president is embracing it. We're going to talk about that as well, too. And some of my guests, Bill Green, our political analyst, right after the noon news, of course, from the award-winning KDK Radio Newsroom, Joe DiStio, Rose Ryan Douglas. And then, of course, the 2 o'clock hour as well. We're going to be talking about that very same topic with Congressman Tim Murphy, who's also dropping by to talk about a new prescription drug bill that I don't want you to miss. And sandwiched in between at 1 o'clock, if that's not enough, we've got State Representative Jim Christiana, who's got his eye on another prize, running against Bob Casey for the U.S. Senate seat next year. But we'll be talking to him about immigration as well and some of the other things that have been making news out of Washington and also Harrisburg. So join me tomorrow as I'm in for Mike Pintek, noon to 3 on News Radio 1020 KDK. Now, let's talk Pirate baseball. Jeff Cohen, Smallman Street Deli, Weiss Provisions. We call this Talking to the Fan. We kind of catch up with people who are really diehard fans and kind of shows everyone that fans really are pretty knowledgeable, and I've always used them as really credible resources and ways to gain information. And two of the best, Frank Augustine, Augustine's Pizza, and this guy, been friends of mine for a very long time, and especially when it comes to Pirate baseball, which is our mutual love, and we love sitting and talking about it. We've done it on the radio many times, and it's nice to have him joining us here tonight on Facebook and YouTube. So you get a kid, 23 years of age. He's literally off the bus from AAA, Cincinnati's AAA affiliate, Jesse Winker. He hits a home run the first night. Then he does it again the second night. He steps up to the plate as a big leaguer for Cincinnati at PNC Park. The Pirates blow another opportunity to gain some ground on the basement dweller in the division. They lose 5-2. Joaquin Benoit, the guy who comes over from Philly, suffers a loss. Going into the game that's underway right now, you have the Pirates 51 and 56, 6.5 back. Chad Kuhl is on the hill. Joaquin Benoit, okay, but I'm really starting to think now, I wish the Pirates would have went for a position player during this, recent draft deadline, which has come and gone. Jeff, they had an opportunity again when they got to 3 games out, and instead of moving forward, they're taking more than one step backwards. Kind of tough to watch this tailspin. Hopefully they find a way to right the ship.
Well, I'm kind of on the Clint Hurdle theory. I mean, playing every day is really tough. I mean, I played at the college level, and you're playing major league players at that caliber every day, and it's just not easy. Rob, I'm the assistant coach of all-race basketball, and so I'm a big believer that coaches and managers mean a lot, but at the end of the day, you have to have the players. And when you look at this team this year, it's been tough. I mean, they lose Marte, they lose Gong. I mean, Talion, had the little medical issue. I mean, Cole struggled early. I mean, and McCutcheon, who always starts slow in April and May. I mean, but when you look at this team, I think when they had that great run, a month ago, the month of basically July, end of June, July, it was Andrew. I mean, he was carrying that team. I mean, he just was. And he just put the team on his shoulder, and they had that great run. And when you look at this, the lineup, it's just not performing at the level that they felt these guys would. And you go up and down that lineup. I mean, I think Marte being out hurt him. Harrison's been pretty good throughout the season. He's had a few minor hiccups, but he's been pretty consistent. Andrews, since really June's been tremendous. Polanco, off and on, really probably underperformed. I mean, Freesia, playing too much. Cervelli got hot there for about 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
Right.
And, Mercer's been pretty steady for a shortstop. I mean, so I don't, the biggest issue's been the outfield. You had Frazier that was hot for a while, and he cooled off. And, Suna came in, had a couple of good games. And Jaso, unfortunately, has just been struggling. I mean, he's had 2 stints this season where the guy's just struggled. And I know it's not easy when you play the game. And the ball, when you're hitting the ball looks like a basketball. When you're struggling, it looks like a golf ball. And I don't think we can write him off yet. I believe Hurdle at the end of the day keeps these guys together. People want to, blame him for a lot of things because they have to blame somebody. And and you're loyal as a manager sometimes because you're, as a coach, the players that have been around you that helped you win, that you can trust, that you feel done a good job. And sometimes you may be getting a shot or two too many, but that's what the game's all about. And with the Pirates, they need a win tonight. I can tell you that. I mean, they can't lose 3 in a row against the Reds. Can't figure out how that team is not. I think they're 1-8 against the Reds. I think so far this year. I don't understand how they can't beat them because the Reds pitching staff really has been horrendous. I mean, the other night that they made Homer bet, it looked like a Cy Young winner. But when you struggle, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, when you do well, it's contagious, and the guys start hitting, everyone's hitting a lot. But when you struggle, it seems like everyone's struggling. And I'm not sure if there's a real answer for it. And I think we need someone else to step up to get really hot besides Andrew. I mean, that to me is going to be the key in the lineup. Because the pitching in general, outside that 9-1 game, the 2 games that Taillon pitched the last week and a half, their pitching has been good. I mean, especially the starting pitching. You're getting way more out of Williams than we thought. Cole was pitching better. Mm-hmm. Nova struggled the last couple of weeks, but Cole's been good. I mean, their pitching has not been that bad. It really has not been.
All right, let me jump in here. Hey, Jeff, let me jump in here because we're kind of running out of time. I just want to say, sure. In defense of Clint Hurdle, Gung being gone didn't help. Freeze hasn't really had the type of season that he's had in the past. And, your hands kind of get tied because certain things do come down to dollars. That makes sense, and it's a business, and I respect the Nuttings on how they run the business. I'd rather have a team who is competitive but financially okay than one who's really upside down as far as spending way too much and winning it all the time. I mean, I actually think it's more interesting to watch a Pirates baseball team than someone that just got basically a blank check and can get whatever they want. I don't really know that that's really the way baseball was meant to be. And a recent inductee into the Hall of Fame. Now, wait. A recent inductee into the Hall of Fame, Bud Selig, I think about what he did with Milwaukee, and I think where Milwaukee has gone recently, it's exciting baseball. But what frustrates me about the Pirates, they did so well against the Brewers when they were in first place, and then they get smacked by the Giants, they get smacked by the Padres, and this is happening with Cincinnati. It's baseball, I understand. Love them, yes, but boy, it's sure frustrating being a fan having to watch this to happen. But hopefully tonight they can begin and start heading in a different direction, and that means upward.
Well, there's no doubt. Like I said, I'm a big Clint Hurdle fan. I think the guy's a tremendous person. I think he's a really good manager. I think people always want to second guess people, but when he came here in 2010, he helped turn this whole program around, this whole team, this whole city. He's been a true leader, and you still need players. At the end of the day, players win the games. And
all right. Well, let me ask you this because I'm running out of time, and I have to ask you this because this was the whole reason that I brought you here because I know you're going to give me your honest opinion. Is this team, and you talked about the pitching, Cole and Cool going tonight, Taillon, Nova, Williams. That's your starters. Tony Watson is gone, and for now, that setup guy is Joaquin Benoit. So hopefully he'll be able to hold more leads than not to get to the closer. But when you look at the nucleus, and Gung, you can't think about him right now, but it would have been nice to have him at third and Bell at first. 2 hot corners with big bats, but you've got Bell, Harrison, and McCutchen. Forget Marte at this point, okay? Especially if they would get into the postseason because he's ineligible. Is this team, this core of players, good enough if they get to the postseason to do damage? And is this core good enough, those 3, moving forward to keep you competitive year in and year out, say, for the next 5 years?
Well, I think in the playoffs, I think whoever gets hot that time really are the teams that end up winning. You start to get the right momentum at the right time, and you feel good, you get confidence, I think you can win. From the core, you can only have Cole's only here for he's another 2 years, is that correct?
Right.
I think from an arbitration standpoint, and you got Andrew here only for another year if they give him his option year. I think there's a lot of question marks, Rob. I think that Though I do think fundamentally of this team, they get a third baseman and another backup catcher, and the relief shores up the release core a little bit. Yeah, I think they can be really competitive for next year and the year after. I mean, that's what they do on signing. I mean, it's the one thing you're gonna have to look at though. Are the Cubs going to be as bad next year? And you would think they're not. I mean, this was a very unusual year with the whole division because St. Louis is going to try to improve. The Cubs are going to try to improve. I mean, Cincinnati's have a lot of young players, so they're going to get better. Milwaukee's got a taste of being in first place. So, I mean, it's not an easy division. So at the end of the day, I mean, we're going to have to be more competitive and have to figure a way how to at least stay with these guys. I mean, the Cubs are going to be tough to stay with. I mean, they have unlimited money. I mean, they go out and they get everybody. And it means nothing. And is it a good thing to me? I think baseball needs to have revenue sharing.
All
Plain
right.
and simple. Just like football does. It would change the whole landscape of the game. It just would. And but I do think they could be competitive. I think they're going to have to make a few moves in the off season. But I really feel like under the constraints, I think of the spending that they've done, I think Heinz has done a really good job.
All right, I gotta stop you there, buddy. I gotta stop you there. He's never a loss for words, and I guarantee you'll definitely enjoy every bite of everything at the Smallman Street Deli because this is the type of conversation you get. Jeff, hopefully we can maybe get you in person, maybe even next week sometime. I can't thank you enough for taking time after a long day to talk some sports with me tonight. Okay?
Hey, Rob, I really appreciate it. Anytime I can be part of your program, it's an honor. So really. All right.
The great Jeff Cohen, Smallman Street Deli, Weiss Provisions. 10 or no, talking NFL next.